A natural. Key signature has a F sharp, the A natural, and our raised 4. B sharp. And our flat 6. D natural. Because we have D sharp and key signature, we're lowering the flat 6. So we have F sharp, A, B sharp, and D natural. So he takes that 5, 7 of 4, D, F sharp, A, C natural. The D stays a D, the F sharp stays an F sharp, the A stays A, the B sharp becomes an F natural because that's how, the C becomes a B sharp because that's how you'd spell it as a dominant, a German 6 in the key of F sharp.
But he doesn't have G.
And then the German 6 will go to a 1, 6, 4, to a 5, to a 1. Now, there he's going up a minor third to F sharp or F sharp minor. F sharp major is enharmonic with G flat major. We don't have a G flat minor, but we do have a G flat major. So in letter F, he shows how you would respell it to be the German 6 in G flat major. Start with a G flat. What would the flat 3 be? That would be a 4. A C would be a 4. B natural would be a raised 3 because we have a D flat. We need a flat. B double. A raised 4. C natural, because we have a C flat in the key signature. C natural will be the raised 4. Now we just need a flat 6.
E double flat.
E double flat. Yep. Okay, so.
No. We're trying to figure out what.
I like having the key signature in front of me though, as opposed to the book though.
All right, so our original D, F sharp, A, C. We had, in the old key, 5, 7, and 4 was D, F sharp, A, C. The D becomes E double flat. The F sharp becomes G flat. The A becomes B double flat, and the C stays the same. So this is how you'd spell the German 6. And then flat 6 is in the bass, goes down a half step. The E double flat resolves down to D flat for your 1, 6, 4. The raised 4 are D natural goes up a half step to a D flat. It's in the soprano. You have 1, 6, 4, 5. So what we have to do now is get used to the spelling. To try to spell the German 6th and the dominant 7th and change from one to the other when we're doing the modulation. Now, a couple of things could help. For example, what if you had a homework assignment and it started in the key of F and it modulated to the key of G flat? What would that tell you?
That we're modulating down a half step. That we're
Up. From
up,
F to
sorry.
G flat. Yeah.
And therefore, we are starting with the German 6, moving to a 5, 7.
Yeah.
As opposed to starting with 5, 7, going to a German
Right. So it can help. The reason I kept going over that on the first page is you look at something and you say, this is a homework assignment on modulating with the German 6, and I seem to begin in the key of C and I end in the key of E. So you say, well, that's up a major third. Which one did the up a major third?
5, 7.
In the old key, you had a 5, 7, a 4, which becomes the German 6 and then a modulate. So that might help you in the homework. What you're going to have to do, though, for homework assignments, I would suggest you do, is identify the key you're beginning in, identify the key you're modulating to, and then spell both the German 6 and the dominant 7th in both of those keys. Spell out 4 chords, the German 6 and the dominant 7th. And then you're really looking for the German 6 and looking for the dominant 7th, as opposed to looking at a bunch of notes and trying to say, well, what chord is this? Because in this chapter, title of the chapter, modulation of using that augmented 6. So that means the pivot is going to be a German 6. So you want to look for that.
If the keys are going up a half step, is it the same in reverse? In that that shows that you're going to a German 6, but if you're going down a half step, would that show that you're going to the dominant 7? And that you're doing it backwards?
Yeah. So let's say you're in A flat, and you notice that you're modulating to the key of G. That's down a half step. So that means that you're taking the dominant 7th of your original key, A flat, and you're respelling it as a German 6th in the key of G. So in fact, let's do that. So if we're in A flat, and we're going from A flat, and then you happen to notice that you're ending in the key of G. So that's telling us that we have a dominant 7th that's going to be respelled, this one, respelled as a German 6th, and then that'll go wherever the German 6th ends up going. So spell the dominant 7th in A flat.
B flat.
D flat. Okay. E flat, G, B flat, D flat. That's our dominant 7th in the key of A flat. Right? Now we're going to the key of G, so we have to respell that as a German 6th in the key of G.
The G stays G.
G is the first note. What's the flat 3?
E double flat.
You know, we're in the key of G. You're looking at the key of A flat.
Oh.
This is what's tricky. Is, okay, we're coming from there, but now we're in G, but we have to think in G. So if we imagine the key signature of G, what would a flat 3 be? B flat.
B
Yeah.
flat.
So far, we have a G, we have a B flat, so those two don't have to be respelled. What's the raised 4 in G? C sharp. Now, there's no C sharp, so which one of those tones is the sound of C sharp?
D flat.
The D flat is going to be written as a C sharp. Okay, and now we just need the flat 6 in G.
E double flat.
You're in the key of G. In the key of G, there's an E natural. So E flat would be the flat 6, and here's an E flat, so that's the respell. So it actually, I know it's confusing because I mean, it's bad enough when we did modulation, we had to think in 2 different keys, but the spelling of the German 6 is awkward. And it's worse because we've got 2 different keys, and sometimes you forget what key you're in. You're looking at one key signature, but you're actually in another key. In a real piece of music, they wouldn't spell it this way and then spell it this way. They would probably spell it in the new key, like this. But you would, you'd analyze 1, it's a tonic, and even though it's spelled like this, it's spelled like a German 6 in the key of G, we would analyze this as the dominant 7th, because it's enharmonic with the dominant 7th. It would be our pivot, like that. So you're not going to see 2 different spellings, you're only going to see 1 spelling, but you have to be able to spell them well enough to say that's a pivot. Even though it's spelled like this,